When I was a little girl, my parents told me I could do anything. They didn't tell me I would be stopped because of my gender. They didn't tell me I'd be stopped because of my ethnicity. They didn't tell me I would be stopped because of my faith. They basically instilled a kind of independence in me where I was taught that if I wanted to achieve something, I had to go out and do it by myself. And it was because of this independence that I would study history and I would be completely baffled. As a child, I just didn't understand, South Africa, how did apartheid happen? Or the civil rights movement, how could human beings be so terrible to one another? I just couldn't understand it. I still don't understand it. How do we let these things happen? And I was 11 years old, and I was completely fascinated with those two things, with apartheid and with the civil rights movement. And I was reading about Stephen Biko and Nelson Mandela and Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. And I was just so obsessed with this idea of people living and dying for this cause that they were so passionate about, something that affected them, but also there was a bigger picture. It was about other people. It was about human rights. It was about mankind, and it was so beautiful to me. And I was 11 years old, and my mother came up to me and she said, Sumayya, this kind of stuff still happens in Palestine. And I was completely shocked. I had only studied these things in a historical context, even at 11. I could not believe that these kinds of things were still happening. And at the time we were in Cairo, so I knew about Palestine. I knew it was across the border from me, and I would always see, photos of children and women and men, and I don't know why, but that moment, it really hit me. This was real. It wasn't just something in textbooks. This was ongoing. This was something I was living through. And I don't know, I was hooked. And then I moved back to the Western Hemisphere, and it was just a whole other world. I was faced with this kind of contagious indifference where people around me did not care. They did not care. The Palestinian narrative was not heard, and it was not acknowledged. No one said anything about Palestine. And it was ridiculous because everyone condemned the South African apartheid that ended the year I was born, but Palestine was still ongoing. In the year 2014, we're still ongoing, and no one seems to care, And I was just completely baffled. I guess I'm still there. I guess that brings me to this moment. I'm a Master's of Journalism student, and I feel the narrative changing. I do. I feel like the pro-Palestinian movement is getting a lot more coverage with social media and with globalization. I feel like people are starting to hear us, and I want to be a part of that change. Which is why I'm talking to a camera right now. I want to be a part of that change. So here's what I'm doing. I'm going to be interviewing people that I know who care about Palestine, and I'm going to be asking them who they are and why they care. And I think this is so important because the media has the pro-Palestinian movement represented as some kind of angry, uneducated, homogenous mass, and we're not. We're educated, eloquent individuals, and this movement means something different to each of us, and we all care for our own reasons, and we're not heard. Israel is always seen as the civilized state, and anyone who supports Palestine is just considered to be angry or over emotional. I don't know, we're just so unrepresented, and I'm just gonna use that independence that I was taught as a child, and I'm taking it into my own hands. But that's not it. That's not all that this video is about. If you're watching this video, I want you to make a response. I want you to use the hashtag IAmPalestine, and I want you to tell me why it is that you care. Who are you, and why it is that you care? Because I feel like we need to humanize this movement, and I need to hear your voice. I want to hear your voice. Tell me everything. And so do that. IAmPalestine. Do it. Make it go viral. We need the world to hear us, and we need to speak up because this situation has been going on for 60 plus years, If not now, when? But that's not all. I think we need a creative resistance. You know, if you're a photographer, take a photo. If you're a singer, write a song. If you're a writer, write a play. You know, I feel like we've been doing the same thing: protests, boycotts, talking to political representation. And I think that's all awesome. And we need to keep doing that. But we also need to be innovative. And we need to approach the situation from a different angle. And I feel like this could be it. We need to have a creative revolution. And I want you to be a part of it. Okay? So use the hashtag IAmPalestine. Take your photos, paint your paintings, make your video responses, and tell me who you are and tell me why you care. So, I guess signing off. My name is Sumayya and I am Palestine.